Jason, would you mind explaining what you're doing? Why have you been hanging around in your father's study all day?
Huh? What do you mean, hanging around?
Just because your father's away on vacation with his friend doesn't mean you get free reign over his personal space.
Of course not. That's why I got his permission first. I've been having some trouble with one of the neighbors on my floor in my apartment block. The noise is so bad I can't focus on my work. That's why Dad's letting me use his study to do my work just for today. Anyway, I told you all this when I got here this morning. Did you forget already?
You did not tell me anything of the sort. I'm sorry, son, but we can't have you loitering around the house. It's inconvenient, and you'll get in my way.
Huh? How does this affect you, Mom? It's not like you use Dad's study for anything yourself. You literally won't even know I'm here. I bought my own lunch, and the only other room I use is the bathroom.
Your presence itself is an inconvenience.
But why? That makes no sense.
I know what's going on here. You wanted to know what it was like to live in a high-end luxury apartment, but working hard and saving up the money to buy your own would be too difficult. So you're freeloading off of your father's efforts. Did I hit the bullseye? I can read you like a book.
Whoa, what? Well, I can assure you that's not why I'm here. Anyway, the bottom line is that I have Dad's permission to use his study for today. The net cafe nearby was fully booked, and I really wanted to use Dad's materials since his office is really well kitted out with stationery and machinery. Most importantly, you seem to be forgetting the fact that this study was originally set up on the premise that me and Dad would be sharing it. So I'm not doing anything wrong. Just leave me alone to do my work here until this evening, would ya? I'll be going home after that.
Good grief. This is why everyone hates people who work from home. Why has society suddenly become so accepting of people working without even going to work? It makes no sense. Back in my day, we went into the office and we liked it. The world's gone mad. No one stops to spare a thought for those who get left to pick up the extra housework burden.
Like I said, I brought my own food so I won't be eating anything that belongs to you. Me being here literally won't affect you at all. Well, I tell you what, how about I clean the toilet before I leave? Gesture of goodwill.
I will not be bribed. I'm so disappointed in you, Jason. Why can't you be more like your sister? She goes out to work every day to her job in the sales department at a major global company, never once bothering me or getting in my way with this work from home nonsense. You two couldn't be more different.
I'm going back to work. I won't be replying anymore.
Jason, I've been doing some serious thinking, and I decided we don't need you anymore.
Excuse me?
First, regarding this apartment, which me, your father, and your wonderful sister Kelsey have been living in for the last 6 months. I know the official narrative is that you gave it to us as a present to celebrate your dad's retirement. But please, I want you to be honest with me on this. The truth is, your father bought this apartment with his pension, right?
What the hell? How'd you reach that conclusion?
Let's face it, an underachiever like you simply can't be capable of being successful enough in life to afford an apartment this nice. I assumed what happened is that your father felt sorry for you, so he kindly allowed you to take credit for buying the place. Now, you're using your web of lies as an excuse to boss me around and have free reign over our house. What you're doing is as obvious could be, and I can see right through you.
Do you really believe that?
If anyone's capable of it, it's you, Jason.
What's that supposed to mean? Is this actually what you think of me?
You constantly go out on dates despite not having a girlfriend.
But I do have a girlfriend.
Then, you pretend you started a company despite the fact you're the last person who'd ever have the intellect or balls to do something that bold.
No, you're seriously dead wrong. The reason I was able to afford this apartment in the first place is because my company is doing so well.
Then, there's what you did with your sister Kelsey. You lied about introducing one of your friends to her for a date.
But I actually did that. Me and him go way back. He was one of my juniors in college.
Well, if you did, why has she not still introduced them to me?
Surely she's not just serious enough about him to introduce him to you and Dad yet?
No way. Impossible. I simply refuse to accept that my precious Kelsey wouldn't introduce her boyfriend to me, her own mother. Which means I can only conclude that you're an arrogant show-off and a compulsive liar. I feel ashamed to call you my son. I never raised you to be like this.
Actually, I think your baseless assumptions and prejudice are the problem here. I haven't lied about anything.
Oh, look, there he goes again. More lies. There's no place for arrogant lying show-offs in this family. We'd be better off without you. I'm kicking you out. Never show your face at this house again.
What the hell are you talking about, Mom? It was me who bought that apartment in the first place. Why would you ban me from coming?
There he goes, trying to show off with his absurd lies again. Tell me, boy, are you capable of going 5 minutes without pretending you're more successful than you are? To think you're still persisting in your dishonesty, despite being in the midst of me taking you to task on it.
No, you're just assuming I'm a liar based on absolutely nothing.
Quit answering me back, boy. The bottom line is, I'm kicking you out of the family. As of right now, you are officially banned from entering this apartment. You're to leave the spare key we gave you in the mailbox. If you ever try to set foot in here again, there'll be hell to pay. Mark my words.
God damn it. I can't believe this. Fine. You'll need a loan of $3,000 a month.
Huh? $3,000?
It's a luxury high-end apartment in the city center with a view overlooking the river, Mom. Surely you're not surprised it's expensive.
You make a strong case. Okay, that's no problem at all. If someone like you, with no redeeming qualities whatsoever, and a financial situation worse than most homeless people, were able to get a loan for that much, then it'll be a walk in the park for me.
Sure, let's go with that. Well, I know you won't listen to a word I say, so I'm going to let you believe what you want to for now. And sure thing, Mom. You'll have no issue getting a $3,000 per month loan. Bye. Hey, Kelsey. You home already?
What's up, big bro? I was just doom scrolling Insta in my bedroom. What's up?
Working tomorrow?
Yep, it's a weekday, so I'll be working just like always.
In that case, I need you to do me a little favor. Please could you take the silver USB stick in the top drawer of the desk in Dad's study with you when you leave the house tomorrow?
Huh? Why? Does it have something to do with your company? I'd feel kind of uncomfortable walking around with something with that much sensitive information on it.
No, you don't have to worry about that. It's just a bunch of personal photos from my digital camera. I was looking through the stuff on it during my break yesterday. I just realized I carelessly left it there by mistake.
Oh, I see.
I only need you to take it out of the study. I'll come and meet you outside the house.
Huh? If you're gonna come, why not just come in and get it yourself?
I see. I guess Mom still hasn't told you then?
Huh? Told me what? No way. Is she up to her old crazy shenanigans again? What did she do this time?
Well, apparently, I've been kicked out of the family.
Excuse me?
According to Mom, I lied about being the one who bought that apartment, and it was actually paid for with Dad's pension. There's no place for arrogant lying show-offs in this family. I'm kicking you out. That's the basic gist of the messages she sent me earlier today.
Holy hell! What the hell is she doing? There are misunderstandings, and then there are misunderstandings. She really has no idea how wrong she is, huh? Did you tell Dad about this?
Yep, he knows. He said he's gonna try talking to her when he gets back from his vacation tomorrow.
I see. Still, what a pain in the butt. You did partly buy this apartment as a celebration present for Dad's retirement, but I know you were planning on making it the base of operations for your company, too.
Right, I was still only in the preparation phase, but that was the plan. I was gonna kick things into gear in earnest when Dad got back from his vacation. Actually, when I messaged him, he said he had an idea.
An idea? Could he mean what I think he means? If he does, I honestly think that's the way to go. It sucks that Mom forced his hand like this, but I guess it can't be helped.
Damn. Would you look at the time? Look, I have a web meeting with the CEO of a Swedish donut company real soon, so gotta dash, sis.
Time zone strict again. Good luck, Jason.
No kidding. Thanks. Oh, As for the USB stick, could you meet me outside the house with it at around 7:15 a.m.?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks a bunch, sis. Look, you're the best. Sorry for the trouble. I'm counting on you.
Don't sweat it. I'm happy I can help out. Good luck with your meeting.
Thanks.
Jason, Dad came home. He said he already spoke to you.
Yep, he came straight to my apartment after he got back from his vacation.
Right. He told me about what you talked about. I gotta say, this doesn't look good for Mom. What with her being a stay-at-home housewife and all. I'm not sure she's in a very good situation to cope with what's about to hit her.
I'm inclined to agree with you on that. It can't be helped, though. She only has herself to blame. Like, Dad hit breaking point months ago, and there's only so much one human being can take. Something had to give.
Jason, where the hell did you go?
Why are you messaging me after all this time? I seem to recall you kicking me out of the family.
Forget that. I went to your apartment and the neighbor told me you moved out last month. I need you to explain to me what's going on right this instant. Go on, I'm listening.
Explain myself? What is there to explain? I wanted to move, so I moved. That's it.
Well, tell me your new address then. I've decided we're going to live together.
No, it's fine. Really. I'm totally okay as I am right now.
Oh, don't be silly, son. Surely it would be better to have a woman around to do the housework.
You forgetting I've been living on my own for the last 10 years. I'm perfectly capable of doing housework by myself. Practically an expert by this point.
But...
Dad divorced you, didn't he?
Well...
And with that, he gave you your marching orders. You're to get your things together and be out of that apartment by the end of the week. Am I right? You tried begging Kelsey, your precious daughter and favorite child, to save your ass and pay for you to exist. But when you did, she dropped the bombshell that she's quitting her job at the end of the month to move in with her boyfriend, or to be precise, her now fiancé, after he proposed to her and invited her to live with him as a stay-at-home housewife. She left a few days ago, right? Without giving you so much as a hint about where he lives.
Wait, what? How do you know all of this?
Isn't it obvious? Dad and Kelsey told me everything.
What? So you've all been conspiring against me behind my back?
Sure, you're free to go with that interpretation if you like. In any case, the fact of the matter is that you have no allies in this family.
But why not?
Do you really need me to spell it out for you? Anyone with basic reasoning skills could figure this out, but then I guess reason never was your strong point. I brought you guys that mansion, partly to celebrate Dad reaching retirement. Kind of like a thank you for all his hard work and everything he did for me and Kelsey over the years, but I also planned on making it the base of operations for my company. Me and Dad spoke at length about it, and eventually we decided he would help me keep things running after his retirement. That way, he wouldn't end up getting bored with nothing to do, and my load on the management end of things would be lightened. Basically, it was to function partly as you guys' home, and partly as my corporate office. Until you stuck your nose in, that is. You did nothing but incessantly complain at me whenever I showed up at the house. You're insistent that I lied about buying the apartment and that it was in fact paid for with Dad's pension, based on nothing but your own assumptions and prejudice.
What was I supposed to think? You're the last person to have the courage and grit required to start a company.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I'm pleased you think so highly of me. If you must know, I actually set up my company back when I was in college.
What?
Oh yeah, and who could forget what you did to Kelsey? You decided nothing but work a major global company was suitable for her. Only the best for my daughter was your catchphrase at the time, right? Which meant that when she got an official letter from an architectural design company after acing the lengthy interview process with flying colors, you, not being satisfied, took it upon yourself to call the company and cancel the offer behind her back, despite the fact she was really excited about working for them. After crushing her dreams, you made her start looking for work again, but this time, Only allowed her to apply for major global companies that you approved of.
What's wrong with that? I only did that because I wanted her to find a well-paying job. Is there any mother who wouldn't do whatever it takes to secure their favorite child's happiness?
Ooh, was that a Freudian slip? Are you finally being honest about Kelsey being your favorite now? Oh well, anyway, after you went behind her back to have the offer from her dream company withdrawn, did you know she stayed up all night crying?
What? But I did that for her. Surely she sees that now.
No, you did for your own self-satisfaction, because you like the idea of having a daughter who worked for a prestigious company. You are the most selfish person I've ever met. Is there anyone who'd be happy in Kelsey's situation after what you did to her? You completely ignored her wishes at every turn.
Selfish. Self-satisfaction.
Then there was Dad. He was so broken up after seeing what you did to his daughter, not to mention all the other crap you subjected him to that I won't go into detail about here, that you left him feeling he had no choice but to divorce you.
What the hell are you talking about, Jason? Seriously. None of this makes sense. How could anyone ever want to divorce me?
The real question is, why didn't he divorce you earlier? My dad has the patience of a saint to have tolerated you for as long as he did.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. What did I do to deserve any of this? And more importantly, where am I supposed to go now? I'll be homeless.
Didn't Dad arrange transport for you to go live with your mom and dad in Arkansas?
I can't go back there. They're rednecks who live in the middle of nowhere. The only reason I married your dad in the first place was because he had a nice stable salary, which meant I could move in with him as a stay-at-home housewife to escape working on my parents' farm. I can't go back there. I'm serious. Me and your grandparents don't even get along.
That's not my problem, Mom. If you're so desperate to avoid living with them, I suggest you find a job and earn enough money to rent out a place on your own.
No, I don't want to do that. And just like I said, I've already decided to live with you.
Allow me to politely refuse your offer.
Why?
Because you kicked me out of the family.
Well, maybe I did, but it was only ever supposed to be temporary. Can't we just let bygones be bygones and put all that behind us, dear?
Sorry, but my work is piling up like crazy and I have tons to do, so I'll be heading off now. Goodbye forever.
What? Forever? No, wait. Son? Hurry up and give me your new address.
My dad was forced to hand over some of his pension and half of his assets during the divorce. Which genius invented alimony again? Well, anyway, that meant that my mom should have enough money to keep herself afloat without becoming completely homeless, at least for a little while. But 3 months after the divorce, Mom started showing up outside my dad's apartment, come corporate office, loitering suspiciously in the alleyway by the apartment block with what looked like a bottle of vodka in her hand. At first, it was sporadic, but eventually she started showing up 4 or 5 times a week. One day, after I ran into her, while carelessly going out in a grocery shopping attempt while she was there, she burst into tears and collapsed in a crumpled mess at my feet, explaining, in between sobs, that she didn't end up going to live with her parents in Arkansas and had in fact been living in a cheap hotel the whole time. Her sob story continued, and in a desperate attempt to win my sympathy, she went on to explain that her bank balance was already in double figures and that if someone didn't help her very soon, she would officially be homeless. I knew I couldn't let her carry on showing up outside the apartment like that, so I decided to call my estranged grandparents. I explained the situation, and after they agreed once more to put her up at their place, I told them our address. A few days later, they showed up in their pickup truck. After a slight struggle to get her inside, she was safely captured and taken to start a new life out in the country. My grandparents messaged me with occasional updates on her progress. Apparently, she currently spends her days crying between stints of helping out on the farm while questioning her life decisions and wondering where it all went wrong.
You're Caitlin, aren't you? Geoff's wife?
No, I'm not.
Huh?
Would you mind telling me who this is?
It's me, Miley.
Miley. I'm afraid that doesn't ring any bells, sweetie.
Oh, come on. Surely you have at least heard my name before. It's hardly common.
Miley Cyrus? No, sorry. I don't have any idea who you are.
Hey, don't get clever with me, smartass. How can you not know who I am? No way, that can't be. Geoff said he told you before you guys got married that his first wife's name was Miley.
Sorry, but you make less sense with every message. Firstly, my husband's name isn't Geoff. Secondly, me and my husband were high school sweethearts. He couldn't possibly have a history of divorce because I'm his first and only wife. Of that, I'm certain.
Oh, I know what's going on here. This is all a coping mechanism because you're in denial about the fact I stole your husband. Geoff slammed a set of divorce papers down in your face and demanded your signature, didn't he? Yep, that's right. I know everything.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know a Geoff, and I'm certainly not married to one. Won't you cut this out already? I was willing to give you the benefit of the doubt because I thought this was just an innocent case of mistaken identity at first. But now, you're just annoying me.
Oh, won't you look at that? Geoff's back. Which can only mean he just got done handing in the divorce papers.
Seriously, what are you talking about? I neither know nor care what this Geoff of yours is doing. But I can tell you for sure that he's not my husband, and that my actual husband is currently out of state on a business trip. I don't know anything about divorce papers. I most certainly haven't had my signature demanded for any, and me and my husband have no intention of divorcing whatsoever.
Your pathetic resistance is in vain, lady. Quit burying your head in the sand already, 'cause it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. I don't get why you're so insistent on denying the divorce when you're the one who signed the papers to begin with. You can kick and scream and struggle as much as you want, but the fact of the matter is that Geoff's heart has wandered back to its rightful owner, me. How about I tell you something for free, 'cause I'm so kind. Listen up. It's important to know when to quit, darling. Sucks to be you, huh? You're nothing but used up goods now. Bye, you tragic loser. Me and my lovely Geoffykins are headed down to hand in our marriage registration first thing tomorrow morning, and there's no thing you can do to stop us. Hello, Caitlin. You should know that Geoff just submitted our marriage registration papers. I'm so happy to be back with my old husband now that he's rich. Thanks for agreeing to divorce him, loser.
Are you seriously messaging me with this nonsense again? And what do you mean, now that he's rich? My husband is just a regular old cubicle worker who occasionally gets flown out to do business meetings. He's certainly not rich by any standard.
Are you seriously still playing dumb? Stop it before my belly hurts from laughing again, Caitlin. Besides, what do you mean by my husband? I think you'll find Geoff is actually my husband now.
Like I told you 1,000,000 times already, I have no idea who Geoff is, and he's not, nor was he ever my husband. That's not my husband's name.
Whatever. What do I care if you deny reality? Feel free to say whatever makes you feel better, darling. Me and Geoff rekindled our old flame and got remarried, and that's an undeniable fact. Guess what? Me and my big hunky stallion are going on our second honeymoon tomorrow. I should really start putting my suitcase together. I mustn't forget to pack my naughty bunny outfit and plenty of bottles of lube. See you later, loser.
Hey, Steve. Sorry to message you while you're away on your business trip. There's something I need to talk to you about urgently.
Caitlin, what is it?
Listen, I've been getting some super weird messages from some girl who seems to be trying to pick a fight with me over the last couple of days.
Trying to pick a fight with you?
She says her name is Miley, but not only do I not have the slightest idea who she is, she also seems to think I'm married to a guy called Geoff. Well, I guess he'd be my ex-husband now, because apparently he divorced me to remarry Miley.
Whoa, what the... I have no idea how to even begin making sense of all that. So who exactly is Miley claiming to be?
She says she's Geoff's ex-wife and claims to have stolen him from me, his supposed second wife, by convincing him to divorce me. And then today, the two of them got remarried. I know it's complicated.
and I don't expect you to fully understand because I don't either. But does that give you a rough gist of what's going on?
Well, so basically, this couple, Miley and Jeff, were once married, got a divorce, and now they're married again. After Jeff and Miley got divorced the first time round, he married another woman. And Miley is convinced that other woman is you?
Yep, you summarized it perfectly. That's what seems to be going on.
Wait a sec. This is just a possibility, but do you think there's any chance? Well, do you think the Jeff she's talking about could be the Jeff we used to hang out with in college?
Huh? Since when did we hang out with a Geoff in college?
You know, tallest guy in the whole group. It was like Godzilla. Didn't you exchange numbers with him at one point?
Wait a sec. Do you mean... Hang on. Was that guy's name Geoff?
Yeah. Yeah, you could be forgiven for not knowing it, though. I don't know why, but he has this weird complex about his name, so he had everyone call him Baxter, his surname. As a result, that's pretty much all he was ever known as. And there were quite a lot of people who ended up thinking Baxter was his first name.
Ah, that's it. I thought his name was Baxter, too. When we swapped numbers at the graduation ceremony, he put his name in my phone as Baxter. I had no idea he was really called Geoff all along.
I see. So is that what's going on here?
Is there a possibility it could be him? I would have never hit on this if not for you, Steve, but to be honest, it's the only explanation I can think of.
How about I try messaging him? I always did hang out with him more than you did back in college, so I guess he wouldn't find it that weird if I messaged him. You might have his guard up if you did it yourself.
Right, you're right. Would you mind, babe? Sorry to trouble you with this.
Sure thing. Oh, don't mention it. To be honest, I have an unusual amount of free time on my business trip this time around, so a good mystery to solve might have been just what I needed. I'll be in touch as soon as I know anything.
Thanks, babe. You're the best.
Hey, Caitlin. Sorry I kept you waiting. I'm on the train back home as we speak. I finally got a reply from Jeff.
What did he say? Did you find anything out?
You could say that. Your jaw's going to hit the floor when I tell you this. So, it turns out that Jeff was originally married to a woman named Miley at one point. But they ended up getting a divorce when he found out she was cheating on her with a local rapper called Tyrone. And he said he has zero intention of ever even speaking to her again, let alone patching things up or remarrying her.
Wow. Just wow.
He was astonished when I told him Miley had been messaging you. He theorized she could have gotten your number back when they were married when she was playing around with his phone. Apparently, she had a habit of doing that. He apologized profusely for getting you wrapped up in her crazy shenanigans. But then, he said something interesting. So get this. Apparently, the whole Miley problem will be solved the day after tomorrow.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, after divorcing Miley, Jeff started a company with one of his buddies from college. But according to him, ever since the company made it big time, and he became, in his own words, filthy rich, she's been following him around wherever he goes, like woman possessed. I don't know exactly what he plans on doing, but he said this whole problem will go away the day after tomorrow.
Wait a sec. The day after tomorrow? She said that's when the two of them are planning on going on their second honeymoon. Do you think that could have something to do with it?
Sorry, babe. I've got to get off the train in a sec, but I'll be home in just under 30 minutes. Let's continue this conversation then.
Got it. Be careful on the way back, sweetie. Today's the day me and my Geoff leave for our second honeymoon. Guess where we're going? My dream holiday destination, Hawaii. It's almost time to leave the house, and I can barely contain myself. Sorry, darling. I know you're probably overwhelmed with uncontrollable feelings of soul-crushing jealousy right now. But let's face it, you were never going to be able to compete with someone as drop-dead gorgeous as me. Look how loved up we are. We're the perfect couple. It'll be better for your mental health if you just give up. Caitlin? What the heck is going on here? What did you do? You've got some explaining to do, woman.
Oh my God, that photo you sent earlier. I'm so sorry, but when I saw that picture of Geoff, I burst into a fit of hysterical laughter so intense, I accidentally dropped my phone.
What? Why? What's so damn funny?
That photo. It's from back when you guys got married the first time around 3 years ago, right? Me and my husband did a video call with Geoff this morning. He has a small tattoo on his arm now. Isn't it strange how there doesn't seem to be one in the photo?
Wait, what? A tattoo?
Yep. You know how in fashion they are these days. Apparently, he got the inspiration for it when he went to Japan last year and saw a bunch of Yakuza dudes covered in them from head to toe. But there was no tattoo anywhere to be seen in your photo. Be honest, Miley. This whole thing was nothing but a sad little scheme of yours from the get-go, wasn't it? What you're doing is so ridiculous and absurd that I suspect you may be mentally deranged and in need of actual professional help. I burst out laughing so hard when I saw that picture that I dropped my phone. Thankfully, it landed on a cushion, so it's not damaged or anything.
Hey, stop that! I know what you're doing. Don't try to change the subject. I just messaged Geoff to let him know I'd arrive at the airport and was super excited about our romantic honeymoon vacation to Hawaii. But he said he wasn't flying to Hawaii, but that he was going to Europe where his wife's waiting for him. What the hell is going on here? Nothing makes sense anymore. Did you guys secretly stay married when he told me you were divorcing?
How many times are you going to make me say it, Miley? Geoff is not my husband.
But Geoff himself told me, you moron, that his second wife's name was Caitlin.
Yeah, about that. You were being so terrifyingly persistent with your demands for Geoff to tell you a second wife's name that he deemed it dangerous for him to reveal any genuine information. So he decided to fool you with a fake name, the main character from a novel he happened to be reading at the time. But in an unfortunate stroke of bad luck, that name happened to be exactly the same as mine, his old friend from college.
Huh? His old friend from college?
He only ever went by his surname back then, so I had no recollection of him ever being called Geoff, which is why I didn't even realize it was him you were talking about until my husband, who went to the same college as we did, pointed out the possibility.
What? What? Wait, I need to read through your messages one more time.
Geoff's number one priority is to protect his actual wife at all costs, which is why, while dealing with you with a strategy of subtle evasion and avoidance, he decided to send her to their new house in Europe, a step ahead of him just to be safe.
Wait a sec. Hang on. There's something that doesn't make sense. What about the divorce papers and the marriage registration documents?
Since I haven't actually seen any of your private exchanges, or indeed the documents themselves, I can only comment based on what Geoff himself told me during our video call this morning. But regarding your divorce, he said that you did nothing but beg, plead, whine, and wail while clinging to him desperately for a second chance. As for the divorce papers, supposedly to divorce me, and the marriage registration papers, supposedly to remarry you, his guess is that you made a misunderstanding while you were out stalking him because you saw him near the county clerk's office when he was grocery shopping at the supermarket next door. As for the marriage registration papers you left in his mailbox, he shredded them immediately.
What? He put our marriage papers in the shredder?
Finally, Geoff's company recently placed him on a transfer to a certain country in Europe, which means he'll be moving there with his wife for the foreseeable future. But you, being completely deranged and in need of professional mental help, and a mental gymnastics performance worthy of the gold, interpreted him going to Europe as the two of you going on a honeymoon to Hawaii. He did tell you he was going to Europe, but you were so gleefully obsessed with the idea of your honeymoon that you kept insisting he cancel his flight and rebook for Hawaii. Eventually, he came to the realization that no matter what he told you, you'd interpret it through your own lens of fantasy and delusion. Correcting you rapidly came to feel boring and tedious. Your behavior was creeping him out so much that he sent his wife out a week earlier than planned, and he soon followed her after tying up a few loose ends here in Colorado. Ugh, that was a long one. Yep, that about wraps it up.
Wait, what's going on? Caitlin, please, what's happening here? Wait, no! Does this mean me and Geoff didn't really get remarried? And my precious darling Geoff isn't even in America anymore? He left me? Yes, that's exactly what it means. I gotta say, Miley, I'm impressed you actually seem to understand this time. Anyway, are we done here? What? I was only ever Geoff's friend from college whose name, unfortunately, happened to overlap with the fake one he used to try and trick you. So I should never have been dragged into this whole mess to the absurd degree I was to begin with. And we sure as hell don't have anything else to discuss now. Oh, and before you ask, Geoff didn't tell me his new address in Europe. So even if you asked me for it, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Oh my god. No! This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. You have to help me, Caitlin. I'm in debt. I have to make the next repayment by the end of this month or I'll be in serious trouble. You don't know who I'm dealing with, Caitlin. I swear, they're dangerous. They already threatened to hurt me. I'm so scared. That's all very unfortunate. But you see, Miley, your screwed up life is not my problem. What? We're done here. Bye. Oh my god. No! It turned out Geoff was already aware of the debt Miley mentioned at the end there. Apparently, it came from the time a judge ordered that she pay damages after getting into a serious car accident while driving uninsured. Her savings didn't cover it, so she had no choice but to go into debt. Instead of actually working to pay it off herself, she decided to try and worm her way back into her ex-husband Geoff's good books, whom she discovered was now extremely wealthy after reading an article that featured him, called Up-and-Coming Hotshot CEOs in a magazine. As for what happened later on, Miley, who still hadn't given up on the idea of remarrying her old flame, showed up at his parents' place in a desperate bid to track him down after he left for Europe. She kicked down their front door and interrupted the residents' afternoon coffee when she barged her way into the living room and growled, "Give me Geoff's address. Help me win him back," in a deep, menacing tone, while frothing at the mouth like a rabid dog. I say the residents because Geoff's parents had already moved out a long time ago. In a hilarious irony, Miley was ordered to pay damages yet again, and with that, her already absurdly high levels of debt inflated to levels previously unimaginable. My sources tell me she was last sighted being bundled into the truck of a black car by a bunch of heavily tattooed bald guys in leather jackets.
Well, this is the police. This should be Bryson Withers' phone number, correct? Excuse me? Have the police in this area started using text message to talk with people now? Is there a problem with the way you're being approached by us? Well, this is the first time I've ever heard about the police doing this sort of thing. Nothing in the news or anything has talked about the police starting to text people they find to be suspects in a case. Unless this is some sort of new tactic that your department has developed, which in that case makes all of this even more odd to a man like myself. I'm sure someone like you would have never heard anything about this. But recently, the police force here has started to update all their methods for reaching out to suspects. One such way is through text. It's a more hands-off approach, allows for there to be less of a chance that an officer or the suspect gets harmed. Being that we are the police, it's not difficult for us to get people's phone numbers. That's very interesting. I'll have to look into all of that at a later date then. So now, why would the police be reaching out to me right now, over text? Well, Bryson, I'll give you the reason for why I'm talking with you now. It was a victim's report about a fraud case you're a part of, and in that report they say they had been scammed by you. So you're going to need to pay $50,000 as settlement to them. And that's why I've gotten in touch with you. Excuse me? So what you're saying is that I'm being blamed for committing a crime, a scam, on someone, and will now need to pay a settlement for it? As far as we're aware, there will be no court hearing for this case, as you've already been proven to be the scammer. And what you've done had been made clear to us in the victim's report. I'm sorry, but I've never scammed anyone, or committed any sort of fraud. So then this could mean you were acting on another's behalf, not knowing you were committing a crime. Perhaps when you committed the scam you were under the influence, don't recall your actions. That can't be. I have never consumed enough alcohol before to make me blackout drunk. It is known that when people become that inebriated, they will usually not remember any of the moments leading up to it. Look, I'm sorry, but that is not going to be enough to make you innocent in this case. But when it comes to things like committing fraudulent activity, the suspect must have been aware of what they were doing when committing the crime, or else it cannot be considered a purposeful crime, right? So what you're saying is the scam was an accident? Let me ask you something. there are many types of scams and frauds in this world. So, could you please explain to me in a little bit more detail what kind of scam the victim is saying I committed? Do you know what a badger game is, by any chance? Well, sort of. Isn't that a scam which targets men primarily? Where a man and a woman will target a man by having the woman approach him and start to perform sexual acts with him. And just before things become too physical, the man will take a picture of the two or video and use that as blackmail while threatening the victim to pay up or else he'll take legal action. And that's what a badger game is, right? You seem to have the description of that form of scam spot on. Thanks. That makes this all the more troubling to me. I'm not sure why it does. I don't ever remember committing a crime like that. And had I, things would be a whole lot more serious in my case. But from what I've read in this victim's report, you are the man that committed the crime, and you will have to pay for it. I think it's best that you just come forward about things and pay the victim their $50,000 that they've asked for, before we have to escalate things any further. If you are able to pay that settlement off right now, then there will be no criminal record made in your case, and you can go right back to the life you'd been living before. So really, $50,000 is pretty cheap for something like a clean record, right? Could you give me some time to think about this? Even if I wanted to pay that settlement right now, $50,000 is a large amount, and I would need some time to actually get all that money together. Understood. But I cannot allow you much time to think about this, as you are being convicted of this crime. And also, you will not be able to get away from us, as we will have eyes watching you at all times. Please do not forget that simple fact. Oh, is that so? Understood.
Bryson, sorry it's been so long since I've last talked with you. And I'm sorry for showing up out of the blue again. But I have something very important to talk with you about. Are you able to chat for a few seconds? I have to make this quick anyway, so please allow me a little bit of your time.
Long time no see, Chloe. What's happened to you?
I know that this is going to be right out of left field for you, so I'm very sorry.
What? What's going on right now?
I was threatened by him.
What? Threatened by who?
Actually, this all started to happen because of what I did. I went and cheated, stabbing my husband in the back, and that's what led to this.
What?
I understand that what I did was very wrong, but I didn't know what to do about it, and I still don't know. And now I've gotten myself all caught up in something far worse than the problems I originally had, and it's scary for me, so much that I can't move. I need a professional like you to help me.
Chloe, could you please calm down for me first? Please take 3 deep breaths for me, please, and let your heart slow down.
Okay. I'm beginning to calm down a little.
Are you able to speak to me more calmly now?
I should be able to. I want to talk about everything so that I can feel a little bit better.
Alright then. Now this could all be wrong on my part, but did you make me the target of some kind of scam?
What? How do you know?
Well, just a little bit ago I got some text from a man claiming he was part of the police.
Already?
No, I knew something was up with the whole situation, so I played it out like I was going to believe him, then ended the conversation for a bit.
I'm sorry. I didn't think he would already be starting to cause you problems.
So you knew this was going to happen?
Yes. Actually, originally the real target was going to be my husband, your little brother.
My little brother?
He started to tell me about how crazy it was that someone like my husband could get money from the both of us just because we had an affair. But I just couldn't bear the thought of getting my husband caught up in a scam like that. And I knew that me cheating would be heard about by everyone eventually, so I went and changed my husband's contact info with yours in my phone and told him. His name's Chase, by the way, and he was the man I'd been sleeping with. But I'm sure he didn't say anything more to you besides that he was the police.
I see. So that's what led to all of this. Can you tell me, have you ever participated in any other scams with that Chase guy before? Or is this your first time?
This is my first time, because he forced me to help him commit it. He threatened me to.
Have you talked with my little brother about what's all happened yet?
I was planning to talk with him about it tonight when he got back home from work.
Tonight?
He had actually been gone for some time on a business trip, so, well, I'm sure he's not going to want to hear about all of this when he gets home. But I have to tell him the whole truth. This is what I get for being unfaithful.
Understood. I believe that you'll do just that then. There are still some things I'd really like to learn about this situation from you, but I'm not the one in charge here.
That's right. I'm sorry about this.
No, you don't have to worry about it. I happen to work with someone who can handle this sort of thing for you, so I'll go and have a chat with him right now. There is going to be a lot of work that needs to be done here, and so this is going to take some time. Please just sit tight and wait for one of us to get back to you.
Okay, I'll be ready for whatever has to happen.
Rawson, may we continue our conversation now? If you do not hurry up and get that money transferred over to the victim soon, we're going to have to come and arrest you. Do you understand, Rawson? By not replying to me right now, you're making things really difficult for your future self. The law will not go easy on you for not abiding. Anyway, like I said to you earlier, we have eyes on you, so there's no way for you to get away. Please just come forward, pay off this settlement.
Bryson, I talked with my husband about everything. About me cheating on him and about what Chase is doing.
I know. I just got off the phone with my brother a second ago. And from what I hear, you guys are planning on handing in your divorce papers later, right?
That's right. Actually, we already handed them in today. And the plan is for me to pay him a settlement later on as well. But he did say he'd be kind and wait for this whole scam thing to be dealt with first before asking for that settlement.
Is that right?
I really messed up big time here. How could I have stabbed someone as kind as your little brother in the back like that?
Well, from what he told me, he understands that him being away from work made you feel lonely and tempted you to seek another man.
But cheating is never okay.
No, it is not.
And due to my unfaithfulness, I got a criminal involved who's now asking you to pay up. I can't do this anymore. I regret everything so much.
Chloe, you'll never be able to erase the problems you've caused, but you can still find a way to make your future better than your past, effectively causing most people to forget about it. That all depends on what you do.
Okay, then that means I need to toughen up and become a better woman, and that's what I'll do.
Right, Bryson, things are not going to look good for you pretty soon here. If you don't come forward and pay that settlement, you're going to get a criminal record. Do you understand what I'm saying here? From what I've learned, you once worked for a very large firm as an office worker, right? I'm sure, being the man that you are now, you should have more than enough money to pay this little settlement off. It's only $50,000, right? And if for some reason you're not able to pay this off, then your only option is borrowing the money to pay up. Bryson, we can no longer wait for you. If you do not have that money transferred over to us by the end of the day, we are going to have to come and arrest you. You will be given a criminal record. Do you understand? It's only $50,000, and yet you're willing to refrain from paying that and having your whole life ruined because of it. How about you say something to me? Hello, Mr. Police Officer. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have said Chase, right? So you're finally replying to me now, huh? Well, it was getting pretty dangerous right there, Bryson. Had I not told my men to stop their advance towards your place just then, you would have been raided, placed under arrest. You should be thankful for that. Now, I'm going to send you the bank account in which you can transfer that $50,000 into. Oh, Chase, before you do that... What do you want? Well, I'm just a bit concerned with how you've handled your scam here, because from what I can tell, it's so flawed that you have to be an amateur. Huh? Well, I guess you've lasted quite a while now, trying to get that money from me. Even though this has to be your first time ever trying to scam someone. What are you talking about, Bryson? If you keep it up with that nonsense, I'm going to have you placed under arrest. Chase, I happen to be a detective for the state police. So do you really want to try that with me? What? A detective? Although I don't normally deal with things like fraud and scams, but I am still part of the state police. That means I have the jurisdiction to work with any department in this state. Hold on a second. You're a detective? Are you kidding me? I'm not kidding. Although you would never be able to tell because we're just texting one another. Wait. There's no way you're part of the police. You're Chloe's husband, right? You're supposed to be just an average office worker. Her husband is now. But before he married Chloe, he was working for the police as well. However, once he got married, he decided to settle down and went to work an office job. Wait, what? So you're not Chloe's husband? That's right. I'm not. What the hell is going on here now? Chloe didn't want her husband to be caught up in all this scam you have going on here, and so she gave you the number of a state police detective. My number. And hoped that I would be able to deal with you for her, as she told me soon after you had first contacted me about how she needed my help. She started talking to you? She made a very smart play in changing her husband's contact information with mine, making you think that I was her husband. That's why we're here now. Did you say? That bitch. I can't let her get away with this. How about you start getting a grip on the reality of your situation first, before you start to talk about her? What? I think it's time you started worrying about yourself now, Chase. What the hell? You've come this far with your scam, so don't think you'll be able to get away from me that easily. What the hell will you be about to do to me? I made sure to tell my troopers to get after you before you caught on to your current situation. What? Hold on a sec. This is the end for you, Chase. Your new life of crime was very short-lived. God damn it! Right after I told him what was going to happen, he made a run for it out of his apartment front door. But we were one step ahead of him, and both the state police and city police had his place surrounded. He was able to make it past two of the officers and got on his bike to make a getaway. However, the officers also brought a K9 unit with them, and that dog made a mess of Chase. He tried to wrestle the dog off of him, but this only made the dog bite harder and deeper, which really got him screaming. But because he was still moving around and making it hard for the police officers to get to him, the K9 handler called his dog away, and they tasered Chase. After the taser had been deployed, he was pretty much out of juice. But this didn't stop the dog from slipping loose and getting a few more bites in on him, completely ending Chase's reign of terror. After the dog was taken off of him and cuffs were placed on, he looked like a bloody mess and had to be taken to the hospital in order to have all the dog bites stitched up. There, he would spend a day getting all 319 stitches that he would need, and after the work was done, he was taken to the local police station. And after a very brief questioning and a quick trial at the courthouse, he was taken away by the police with plenty of charges. As of right now, though, Chase is locked away in a state penitentiary, where he will be serving 3 years. Oh, did I forget to say that it wasn't him trying to scam me that landed him there? Because the main reason was due to him pushing one of the officers over in his getaway, which was seen as assault on an officer. Had he not done that, he would have been a lot better off and might have even gotten off on parole instead. As for my little brother's ex-wife, Chloe, she was able to prove that she was forced to give my information away to Chase and therefore was not arrested for her actions. However, she still had to deal with the settlement to her ex-husband, and once she had paid that off, she returned back to her parents' house. Though she stopped by my office on her way home and thanked me for getting rid of Chase, and said that while she was with her parents, she had worked really hard on turning her behavior around. For good.
Hey, Tony. It's finally going to be time to meet my parents tomorrow. Are you mentally prepared?
Well, I'd like to think I'm prepared. But didn't your dad used to be a boxer?
Sure he did, but that's ancient history now, and it's not like he ever won any titles or anything. And he only ever fought in the amateur leagues.
Oh, but still, he knows how to throw a punch. Being a man is about fighting it out with your fists. That was his motto, right?
Yeah, I guess he always was kind of a meathead. I guess if I was to say you should be careful about anything, it'd be that. Still, he's not the kind of guy to put his hands on someone without any fighting experience. So I really don't think you have anything to worry about.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that. I can't believe we're already engaged and I'm only just now meeting your parents. I'm doing my best to take my mind off it, but I just can't seem to get my nerves under control. I guess it can't be helped.
Pull yourself together, Tony. You're the CEO of the biggest washing machine manufacturers on the East Coast. Wonderful Washing Machines wouldn't be half the company it is without your tenacious, can-do attitude, and that's a fact. Remember how bold and confident you always are at work? Just tap into that and you'll breeze it.
Well, I guess you're right, but how to put it? Whenever I'm at work, it's like I have my war switch turned on. The industry's full of naysayers and detractors, right? Remember how doubtful everyone was about my suitability for the job when I got my promotion because of how young I am? I guess you could call my over-the-top, balls-to-the-wall charisma a survival tactic.
There's nothing wrong with that, baby. If it works, it works. You're the kind of guy who produces the goods when push comes to shove. In your entire life, has there ever been a situation you couldn't navigate? Nope, I didn't think so. You'll be fine tomorrow, too. Trust me.
You're right. And whether I worry about it or not, tomorrow is happening, and that ain't gonna change. Screw it, I'm going all in, all or nothing.
Hey, chill out, babe. It's not a military operation. Promise me you won't charge my parents or do anything crazy, okay?
Oh, alright, I'm gonna figuratively crush it tomorrow by maintaining a cool air of confidence while being polite and respecting social norms. How's that?
Perfect. Looks like you're already back to your old self.
You really think so?
No doubt about it. All right, well, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you then. Good grief. To think that was all it took for you to run off with your tail between your legs. Pathetic. Ah, well, a frail social misfit like you never had a hope of winning against a lean, mean, killing machine like me. The weak should fear the strong. Yee-ho! Is it fair to assume this is Butch, Lexi's dad? That's right. Boom. Respect the guns. Butch, with all due respect, I'm your daughter's fiancé. We're getting married soon, and today was the first time I ever met you. Why the hell did you punch me in the face? To test your mettle, boy. To think you couldn't even withstand a 10% power warm-up punch with my left hand. You spineless little beansprout. I've never met such a pitiful excuse for a man. You do understand that even a 10% power punch is gonna rock me when it lands square in my face, right in the middle of me trying to introduce myself. You're a former boxer, for crying out loud. So let me get this straight, boy. Instead of rising to the challenge and fighting back like a man, then and there, toe-to-toe, man-to-man, you run off and start sending me these whiny crybaby messages from a safe distance, where I can't get you. Pathetic. I eat shrimp like you for breakfast. You're such a flimsy wet noodle of a man. I bet you barely make 50 pounds wet, though. I bet you drink soy lattes, too, don't you? Boom! My nose is bleeding and my face is all swollen because of you. What's your point? I can't speak anymore. Huh? They just got done patching me up at the hospital. Weakest punch I've ever thrown put you in hospital. I also had the docs print off a medical certificate. You're undisciplined, weak. Your training insufficient. That's not what I'm talking about here. In any case, I can't give my daughter's hand in marriage to a lowly temp. Temp? Do you mean temp worker? Yeah. Now you listen to me, boy. And you listen good. You know that washing machine company you used to work for as a temp? What was it again? Wonderful Washing Machines. They're one of my company's biggest clients. I saw you show up at our office with their sales manager countless times. Oh, is that so? But you haven't been showing your face lately, so I can only assume your temp contract came to an end, and now you're back out on the streets begging with your tin can. I can't leave my daughter's future in hands of such a good-for-nothing pansy. Is that why you punched me in the face the instant we met? Damn right it is. I guess you weren't interested in letting me introduce myself then. Why the heck would I want to listen to some dumb temp worker introduce himself? I'd rather watch paint dry or stick needles in my eyes. But more important than that, like hell I'd give her away to a flaccid pansy who goes flying across the room from my weakest punch. Oh, if you still want to marry my daughter, then you'll have to defeat me in single combat. Either we settle this old style, man to man, or we don't settle it at all, and you get the hell out of my daughter's life. Show me what you're made of, pipsqueak. Fine. I won't marry her. What? First of all, no one who claims to be a true student of martial arts would sucker punch a rookie while he was trying to introduce himself. Which basically means you just did something that even I, as someone with zero fighting experience, know is frowned upon in the martial arts world. Quit your whining, pansy. What you gonna do? Call the martial arts police? Hey, if you can only talk smack from behind the safety of your phone, you're nothing but a coward. My daughter ain't marrying no coward. You flimsy pipsqueak.
Tony, are you okay?
Hey, Lexi, thanks for coming with me to the hospital yesterday. It means a lot.
Of course I was gonna come with you, silly. This was all my fault. Oh my god, babe, I feel terrible about what my dad did to you. I'm so sorry. I had no idea he'd do something like that to you the moment you met him.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little shocked. What the hell was he trying to do? I can't make any sense of it.
Well, about that. How to put this? It seems as though he was trying to recreate a scene from a certain drama he likes from the olden days.
A drama?
You know, like a no man weaker than me gets to have my daughter's hand in marriage, pow kind of thing.
I've never heard of that kind of thing before.
I got a message from my mom this morning explaining how he hit the beers when he got home and wouldn't stop bragging gleefully about what he did to you all night. Eventually, she got so bored of his antics, she went to the bedroom on her own, but all she could hear from the kitchen was, boom, got him.
Jesus, what the hell? You're telling me that's why I got punched?
Yeah.
Even though I didn't do anything to him.
First of all, please believe me when I tell you I've tried to convince him to try being more open-minded about this. But basically, in his mind, you're nothing but the guy who stole his daughter. I told him countless times you didn't steal me, but he's so stubborn he never listens to a word I say. I'm so sorry, Tony.
No, don't apologize to me, babe. This ain't your fault. You often hear about how complicated the emotional states of dads struggling to come to terms with their daughters getting married can be, so it's not like I don't understand why you might feel uncomfortable about the whole thing. But punching me in the face was taking it a step too far.
Right. I couldn't agree more. I completely understand where you're coming from, and I'm 100% on your side. However, you want to deal with him, whatever kind of action you want to take for what he did to you, I want you to know I'll have your back no matter what.
It's probably going to end up causing you guys some trouble, though.
Don't worry about me and my mom, Tony. We know exactly what he's like. Just do whatever you think you need to do to make this right.
Got it. Thanks, babe. That means a lot to me.
Hey, Lexi. Lexi, you there? This is bad. That boyfriend of yours just sent a sign for a package to the house, and that ain't even the half of it. Apparently, he's filing criminal charges, too. That goddamn sniveling coward. Why, what in heck's name does he think he's playing at?
You punched him in the face when he came to introduce himself and announce our engagement. That's why he's filing criminal charges. The police are currently carrying out their investigation and will likely be calling you in for questioning real soon. But let me make it abundantly clear to you that Tony has no intention of settling out of court with you or dropping the charges under any circumstances for that matter.
Huh?
That's all he wanted me to tell you.
Whoa. You hold on just a goddamn second. That was just a test to determine whether the kid's worthy of marrying you, that's all. If I had to say, I'd call it a form of initiation ritual, a rite of passage, you know? Like those African tribes. No one marries my daughter without earning their stripes first. Why should I be treated like a criminal just 'cause your flimsy pipsqueak boyfriend was too frail and wobbly to take my jab? I didn't even use my power hand.
It's never acceptable to punch someone unless it's in self-defense. What you did was criminal, plain and simple. To make matters worse, you're a former boxer. You and him are practically in different worlds in terms of skill. Tony has no martial arts experience, and there's no way he could have ever hoped to stand up to you. You should have known better. You do well to remember that your sentence, or whatever punishment you end up getting, will be even heavier because of that.
No way. It was just a rite of passage.
Oh, and by the way, do you have any idea how much your little stunt is going to screw up your reputation at work? You're as good as finished at that company now. Did you even think about that before you did it? Are you even thinking about it now?
Huh? How do you mean? My reputation screwed up? Laughable. There ain't no one more respected than me at that company. Don't talk nonsense, young lady. I could do whatever I wanted to a flimsy wet noodle like him, and no one would bat an eyelid. He's a temp worker, for crying out loud. The lowest of humanity.
What the hell does that have to do with anything? Whether he's a temp worker or not has nothing to do with it. You can't seriously think people's employment status gives you the right to physically assault them. It worries me how you can be so old as you are and this lacking in common sense. Besides, Tony isn't even a temp worker anyway.
Wait, what? You kidding me?
You seem to have convinced yourself he's a temp worker based on nothing more than the fact that you saw him visiting your company from Wonderful Washing Machines a few times. Want to know what he was actually visiting your company for? To meet your boss after stepping up as the new CEO of the company, and to discuss your future relationship as trading partners together.
He's a CEO, and he came to meet my boss.
The entire management team at Wonderful Washing Machines got reformed a few months back when the old CEO finally stepped down after running the company for some 40 years.
He's the he's the CEO. Oh man, this ain't good.
That's right. Tony is the new CEO.
Well, this is the first I've heard of it.
He was planning on telling you after introducing himself, but yeah, you went and royally screwed up the whole thing, didn't you, Dad? To be honest, I thought you'd already know considering how deep your company's relationship is with Wonderful Washing Machines. But you clearly have no interest in what's going on at your workplace.
No, it ain't like that. I knew they were set to get a new CEO. I just didn't know his name. That's all.
Oh, I see. Well, in any case, it's too little too late now. By the way, Mom left you a signed set of divorce papers and moved out, right?
No. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Why even bother trying to hide it? It's not going to change anything. She told me everything. This should be obvious to you by now, but just in case you haven't realized, I want to make it clear that I'm on Mom's side in all of this.
But why? How can you betray me like this? All I did was my best to fulfill my sworn duty to you as your father and the patriarch of our bloodline.
By punching my fiancé in the face? What did he do to deserve that?
Well, think about it. He deflowered you, baby. The rose of your virginity will never be restored, and now you'll be damaged goods forever. The least I could do was punch the sucker in the face for it. Consider it leveling the playing field.
God, you're disgusting.
What?
Who the do you think you're calling damaged goods? All I want to do is get married and build a happy home with the man I fell in love with. What the hell is so wrong about that? Why won't you just let me be happy for once in my goddamn life, Dad? Why must you always screw up everything? You're nothing but a pea-brained blockhead with views on the world so outdated they belong in the Stone Age. What is it going to take for you to realize you're destroying my happiness?
I'm destroying your happiness.
If you genuinely want me to be happy, then there's only one thing you can do for me. Leave me alone and never try to get involved in my life again.
Lexi.
I suggest you cooperate with the police and atone for what you did to my fiancé.
No, wait, please, babe. Don't do this. You'll always be my baby girl, right?
Goodbye forever.
Tony, I'm begging you, kid. You gotta drop the charges. Please persuade Lexi and my wife to change their minds. I'm begging you here. It's looking like my company are gonna fire me too, damn it. Please, kid, I'm serious. You gotta help me out here. Tony, why won't you answer me?
Lexi? I haven't seen you much lately. Did I do something wrong? I knew it. Are you upset about me filing charges with the cops against your dad?
Huh, Tony?
Lexi, do you hate me now?
Wait, no, it's not like that. I think you did the right thing.
Then why have you been avoiding me?
I haven't been avoiding you. It's complicated, Tony. Think about it. I'm the daughter of the man who punched you in the face. I'm your attacker's daughter. No matter which way you look at it, I'm not suitable for you. I'm not worthy of you, Tony. You deserve someone better than me.
Wow, so that's why you haven't been talking to me? Jeez, Lexi.
I mean, of course I couldn't.
No. You've got this all wrong, babe. I'm the one who should have been more considerate towards your feelings. Your dad hitting me like that must have been really tough for you to process, right? I should have been more emotionally available. I'm so sorry I didn't notice you were hurting, babe.
No, stop it. You have nothing to apologize for, Tony.
In that case, let me ask you one more time. Lexi, will you marry me?
Tony?
There ain't another girl on this planet I want to call my wife. You're the only one for me, babe, until I die. If I can't have your hand in marriage, then I'd rather stay single for the rest of my life.
Are you sure this is what you want? Are you sure you want me to be your wife, Tony?
I don't want anyone but you, baby. You're my honey pie, my sugar muffin, my super sexy treacle dumpling.
Tony, you're my big cuddly woodly teddy bear.
Can I come over to your house? I want to see you. You can answer my question when we're together, when you're lost in my warm embrace. Our souls intertwined as one.
All right. I'm waiting for you. Tony, thank you.
I already knew what the answer was going to be, but I wanted to hear it in person. So with that, I made my way to Lexi's house straight away. After that, we immediately began living together. Lexi's mom currently enjoying her newly single life after the divorce. She lives in the same neighborhood as me and Lexi, and she's surrounded by the warmth and loving support of her family, friends, and neighbors. Lexi's dad, Butch, on the other hand, he was disowned by his daughter, divorced by his wife, and fired from his job. Not only that, but he also got slapped with a criminal record for what he did to me on that fateful day. What's more, apparently he flipped out and resisted arrest when the cops came to take him in, which meant he got hit with an additional charge of interference with a public servant in the execution of their duties. It must have been at that point he realized the sheer unparalleled stupidity of his actions. I was so surprised when he sent me a letter of apology through his lawyer that my jaw almost hit the floor. But whether the day will come when we actually end up making peace depends entirely how he chooses to proceed from here on out. My main focus now is enjoying my new life, happily married to the most beautiful, pure-hearted girl in the world, while watching her over with warmth and affection.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.